Hey, what's up, guys? It's your bud here, Dr. V, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Mattel Creations exclusive Masters of the Universe, the Powers of Grayskull He-Ro figure that came with the Club Grayskull membership add-on. So yeah, you did have to pay $9.99 for the Club Grayskull membership, plus the figure was $19.99. But some people have mixed feelings about subscriptions. It's not that bad. I don't have a ton of subscriptions, so I don't mind it. Plus, for $10 a year, what is that, like 80 cents a month? I'm okay with that in order to get access to items that may otherwise not have a lot of um, retail appeal. I mean, a lot of people may not even be familiar with the Powers of Grayskull. For those of you that aren't, the Powers of Grayskull was a um, potential line that was going to be a continuation of the Masters of the Universe line in 1987 as the original Masters of the Universe line was wrapping up. The story was that this took place in the distant past of Eternia and primarily featured He-Ro as your main protagonist. Eldor was his kind of like his guide, similar to how the sorceress is for He-Man. And then the villain, I believe, was the Black Wizard, who is kind of similar to a Skeletor type archetype. But there were all kinds of other really cool beasts. Like there were dinosaurs and giants. So this line really has a pretty good potential to expand all already nicely robust Origins line. So I'm okay with paying the $10 a year to get access to these things. I would love to see Eldor, Shirella, the Black Wizard. Heck, I mean, even some of the newer figures that came from Masters of the Universe Classics in the 2010s that had characters from Preternia like Dragoman, and uh, this wasn't specifically part of the Preternia line, but my goodness, how cool would it be to put Castle Grayskull Man into the Powers of Grayskull line? For those of you that don't know, that was a creative figure um, that was made by a one of the fans. I'm blanking on his name right now, but he's done a lot of really cool things for the community. He's done like fan movies and over like commercials. Overall, very creative individual. So I loved his Masters of the Universe Classics Castle Grayskull Man. I would love to see Castle Grayskull Man in Origins format. I think the Powers of Grayskull would be the best place to put him, since a lot of these figures, really were never produced back in the 80s. Um, Now, we do have some other versions of He-Ro that are in existence. Super 7 did one in the traditional 5.5 scale, Masters of the Universe, 5 points of articulation. I never picked him up. Um, and then there was also a version done in Classics, which I missed out on. And then you see here, we do have the Masters of the Universe Revelation He-Ro, which is a great sculpt. It's just kind of a little bit lackluster. He doesn't pop. And I totally get it. The vac metal it can be tricky with plastics. The plastics have to be harder, and they do tend to have some flaking over time. Um, but I don't know. There's got to be a happy medium between the kind of dull, goldish hued plastic and vac metal. Um, but who are we kidding? If this guy was vac metal, he would not have been a peg warmer. But let's take a look at our new Masters of the Universe Powers of Grayskull He-Ro. So we'll take a look at him in the package here. Great packaging. This is more of like a box versus the King Grayskull that came with the Eternia, was more on a blister card. Great artwork as usual. We see the Club Grayskull logo right here. We see He-Ro fighting some type of four-armed Minotaur character, which would be really cool to get now that the King Hiss um, figure from the Turtles of Grayskull, we have figures that have multiple arms, so it's totally doable. And then we spot Shirella back here, Shirella is kind of like the Tila counterpart. She's like a female protagonist, and she's been featured on multiple um, artwork. So I feel pretty confident that she's coming down the line. Then looking at the sides, you got a full, kind of full figure profile view of He-Ro, and then here's more of a close-up profile of him. So let's check him out. Let's take him out of the box. This is basically just a slip cover. So you just lift that up, exposing the figure. We do have this box, which looks like a chest. Just prop him up right there. This does contain his one accessory, but very nice, artwork, some, interesting runes. If anybody here knows what those means, drop that down in the comment. And if this is your first time here, welcome. I try to put out content, once a month just because life gets in the way. Trying to get better at that. But if you're not a subscriber, please hit that like button. I'm not going to clog up your feed too much. And sure enough, we do have his wizard staff. And we'll just open this up. So you can see the wizard staff is done in a more kind of gold toned plastic. And then we're going to take a look at He-Ro here. Let's take him out of the package. We do have a new comic book, mini comic here, He-Ro's Journey, which should be pretty cool. Take a look at. Mine did get a little bit bent, but that's okay. So if you want, you can pause and take a look. Basically, it follows the journey of Ro before he was He-Ro, and Eldor, and we've got some Snake Men in there, Drago Man's there, the Black Wizard is in there. Very cool stuff. Even Moss Man. Awesome. All right, let's take a look at the action figure itself. Let's pop him out of his blister card. He is held down by some plastic ties, which shouldn't be too hard to pop off. Super easy. So there's some plastic there. We've got to take that off. Put him back together. Put his head back on. And there we go. Straighten out his legs. Take these. Yeah, so you can tell there's plastic protectors around the ankles, trying to not scuff up the back metallization, which, yeah, I get it. Back metal is not easy to do, but man, it just looks so cool when you do it right. And he's definitely, the plastic on him is a little bit softer than most. Taking a look at him, see if he can stand up without a lot of help. Yeah, not bad, not bad. We'll put a staff in his hand. Pops right in there, and then the staff opens up to reveal that kind of green translucent gem, which I think is part of the source of his power. Straighten out this leg here. Yeah, the plastic's a little softer than normal. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it being so close to some back metal pieces, just to avoid scuffing and scraping, but there we go. So there we have, our brand new Club Grayskull He-Ro figure. He looks fantastic. I really like him. I'm glad I got him. I definitely think he was worth the extra $10 that you had to pay. Pixel Dan made a good point. It did seem like you had to go through a paywall to get access to him, but if it's just a once a year thing, I can deal with it. But certainly don't want it to become, a habit. Um, but looking at him, I mean, he looks great. I mean, absolutely. I love the vac metal. It came out really nice. And this is the He-Ro that I've always wanted. He's got articulation. His, you know, just like all the other Origin figures, he does disassemble, so you can mix and match. And we have some little comparison here with the Revelation He-Ro. One thing I'm like looking at is that the Origins He-Ro, he does suffer from, kind of that slightly, the head's just a little bit on the big side, and that's unfortunately that's probably the one thing I'm not a huge fan of is the head. Now I do get that they were going for the kind of vintage concept where he was kind of smiling, but I just want to see what these guys look like if you swap their heads. So I'm going to pop off Masterverse Hero's head and Origins Hero's head. All right, there we go. Got our headless figures here. It doesn't quite fit. Yeah, the ball peg is, or the hole in the head is too small, but we can get an idea just by kind of resting it in there. That's actually pretty darn cool. I kind of like that better, actually. I may use that. I may Dremel it out a little bit more and make that my official He-Ro head. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's not gonna fit. Oh wait, it did. Nice. Just had to put a little extra pressure on there. Now we can take a good look at it. I dig it. I like that one a lot better, actually. And you can see why. I mean, when you put the Origins head on the Masterverse figure, oh, got a little in the shade there. I mean, he kind of looks like childlike. And this one, he looks more adult, more badass. So, yep, I'm going to leave that head on the Origins figure. But other than that, guys, I mean, that's pretty much it. He's got all your basic articulation. I don't need to go through all that. You guys have seen videos and videos, and it's all the same type of articulation. This guy is no different. Um, but really draws him in is this vac metalized armor. I really like it. Well, it's a beautiful day, guys. I'm going to end this video here. Go outside, do something, enjoy life. Until next time, I'll see you later.